Sharaya O is a zine maker from California who does a lot of different zines on a lot of different topics. A lot of times, kind of tongue-in-cheek sense of humor. A lot of times, full color. A lot of collage. Some of her early stuff is Word of the Day, Leave Me Alone, Mom, Church Kid. I love all of the zines that she's ever sent me. I love getting mail from Sharaya. One of her newer zine series is called Monster Truck Maniac, all about monster trucks, and it's fun, it's great, it's kind of silly, and there's two different issues out, and I thought it'd be fun to talk about them. So let's take a moment and talk about Monster Truck Maniac number 2. Oh, just in time to get the cat.
Excellent.
Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to Let's Take a Moment. My name is Billy McCall, and I do the I Love Zines website and a bunch of other stuff. I'll let everyone else introduce themselves. Kurt, go ahead.
Okay, my name's Kurt. I do a zine called Room Tone, and I've also been a contributor to Razor Cake magazine since 2005. I write reviews and do podcasts and features and things like that for them.
Very cool. And Sully.
I'm Sully, and this is Steve, who will be making an appearance, I'm sure, because he cannot be alone. Sorry. I publish as Kaiju Cabal, and I also organize the Evergreen Zine Fest here in Everett, Washington.
And Jenna, you want to go ahead?
Sure. I'm Jenna. I am the director of the Barnard Zine Library for the next 8 days. And after that, I'll be teaching library school at Queens College. I helped organize the New York City Feminist Zine Fest, and I make a zine called Lower East Side Librarian, and also a zine idea for each like, which is sold on I Love Zines, and I make other zines too.
Very cool. We're all here from various time zones tonight to talk about Monster Truck Maniac number 2. This is the second issue. This is by Sharaya O, who lives in California. I also happened to read the first one earlier today. We could have reviewed either or both. The first one is a lot of Sharaya talking about here's all the reasons you should love monster trucks, but I actually like the second one a little bit more. So I thought it would be fun to review this, but they're both very, very fun to read. Does anyone want to give a little synopsis of what the zine is about?
Well, can I just jump in with one thing? I'm not ready to summarize the zine, but I love that we're doing Monster Trucks Maniac 2 because it has this like sequel energy. Like it's this blockbuster and like the fans needed a number 2.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think if you yeah, if you love this one enough, you're like, well, I got to see where it started. I got to go back and get the first one now.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just sort of like a quick immersion into this really weird, kind of like a subculture thing of monster trucks, just sort of like who started it, what are some of the highlights, what do you need to know to like interest you in actually going to, I feel like they're called rallies. It wasn't, but I feel like it's monster truck rally is the term, right? I don't know. I probably need to read the first one to figure that out. But yeah, it's just sort of like a primer on what you need to know to like get you interested in this thing. And it worked. Very like I did some research. There's a demolition derby like a couple of cities away that might be on the to-do list for this summer.
Mhm.
So I grew up in southern Iowa, and not only have I been to many demolition derbies, but my family used to race in them. And I never raced in one, but like my cousins and my uncle, and like they used to build their own demolition cars and race. But I had never been to Monster Truck Rally until maybe I think 3 years ago. So there's a company called Monster Jam, and they're basically like I don't know, like a league. It's like the NFL, but they travel from city to city. So it's like a league that brings together monster trucks, and they have these. I think rally is a good word for it. Monster truck rallies. So only like maybe 2 or 3 years ago did I ever go to my first. Have any of you been to monster truck rally?
Hmm.
No, I have not, although there's one at our county fair this summer, like in about a month from now, that I'm seriously contemplating going to, now that I've read this.
I live
Yeah,
in New York City, so I don't know what the monster truck rally options are around me, but I'm excited to know Sharaya shares that Monster Jam University is where you learn to become a monster truck driver competitor.
yeah. Of all the things, all the facts that I learned about monster trucks, that's the one that kind of blew me away the most because I had just never even thought about. I just thought, I don't know, like people who like cars build bigger cars, then eventually they have one and they enter a race or something. I never even thought that there's like a way, yeah, like a school to learn. I love a lot of things about this. It's like a true fanzine. And I think the thing I love about fanzines, like if I read a fanzine about a band or a movie that I don't like, I mean that's fine because the zine is still fun because it's someone talking about why they love the thing. And I think this is like a true, pure fanzine because Sharia is not like trying to be funny or ironic. She's like,
Mhm.
I fucking love monster trucks. And I love that it's in full color. I feel like it's just like a blast of like fandom like in my face like yelling at me like here's why you should go see a monster truck rally.
Can we show like this is Sharaya's photo of herself enjoying the rally?
Yeah.
Yes, at 100%. It really like yeah, I don't know, the whole zine just like cracked me up.
Well, I appreciated the color, like using color entirely and not just on like the cover. I mean, as someone who does black and white zines, like color always just seemed like kind of a big hill to climb. Um, and she was like, she put it all out there in full color, and I think that really added to the life of the zine and like helped give it some personality and made it seem like, yeah, I guess like you all were saying, like it's just like it's in your face because of the color. And also the cut and paste aspect of it too, I think kind of gives it its own unique perspective.
It because it has that what is it? The like collage aspect of it. It feels more like you're reading a cool girl's diary. And like it feels really cool to just be like, "Oh, I'm involved in something." And to like have the excitement of somebody explaining this to you is ex like vicariously exciting.
Yeah, it's got a lot going on. It's a lot of exclamation points. It's a lot of full color collages. It's very vibrant. And from the one monster truck rally I went to, it is an overwhelming experience. Like it is sensory like overload of like sights and sounds and flashing lights and like I like brought like construction headphones to wear to block out the sound and it's still loud even, and you got food and you're drinking and people around you and like the zine kind of feels like that too, of just like piles of color on top of it, itself. So it's kind of fun.
Can I ask a question, which is so I'm thinking a lot about zine culture and how it's evolved over the I've been involved with zines for 30 something years. And something that I think is important about zines is that there's a political element to them. They're like come out of anarcho-punk or DIY. And this zine may not be overtly political, but she talks about ear protection and she sort of knows that the topic might seem frivolous to some zinesters or some readers. But I'm curious what the rest of you think about like kind of where zines are at and how this zine fits in on the continuum, if that's like not too deep and nerdy a question.
Steve and I agree that I don't think that zines need to be political, but I feel like there's a you're not going to be like a terrible shitty person and then also wanting to make free literature, like basically free literature for people. Like it kind of weeds out some people. I do agree though, like the thing that really resonated with me is on the fun facts page, because I'm a person who likes facts. 6% of the drivers are women, but also the like monster truck drivers have health insurance through this like monster, which seems and I'm a huge fan of like old wrestling promos where like wrestlers weren't insured, they were like contractors. And so I think there always is sort of that like, let's not be shitty to people line that just goes through anyone who is creating this kind of stuff. Like we're not, like Billy said, like we're not doing this for money. It's to like to make enough to just pay to print the next one. And I think that has a bit of that in it where it is political but not outright.
Right, and she is a queer woman of color who's enjoying this mainstream American thing. And I'm just looking like this is hilarious when she talks about the badass pioneers of monster trucking. And they're like all white dudes with mustaches and mullets. And
Mhm.
she draws attention to that. So, like, I don't think she's making a big political statement, but I do feel like there's, I don't know, just some kind of maybe it's through like her lens that like uplifts it and just I don't know, would it be different if someone else had made this zine? Does who created it matter?
Mhm.
I think in some ways it matters, in some ways it doesn't. But I think with this, I think it definitely matters. And I think, the whole the medium is the message. Like any zine you make is almost political just because it's a zine that you're making. And like you said, it's essentially free literature or whatever. And um, yeah, like she just kind of casually mentions like these different things of like, yeah, this seems like something I'm not into, but fuck it, I'm into it and I love it. And like anyone can like anything, and you can, no matter who you are, you can dive into the thing that you love.
Mhm.
And yeah, just like mentioning like, yeah, there's like 6% of the drivers are women, but hey, that's a start. And like that's just like a subtle little line that's like still keeping it in your head of like, yeah, this might seem like a boys' club, but like no matter who you are, if you love it, you love it, and you can get into it. And yeah, I think the everything you said is accurate, and it's cool.
Yeah, and I'll add like two more points about that. One is that she uses the phrase American exceptionalism at one point, and she also, I think, has the word democracy with three exclamation points after it. Right, you even get a vote. That's right. Come and show and participate in democracy, which is like how the racing challenge goes. So she's kind of like, I think, forcing some politics onto it. Maybe the way I'm forcing some politics into this discussion, but that's, my secret agenda.
Maybe we should have reviewed them both together. So in Monster Truck Maniac #1, so the whole zine is about here's 8 reasons you should love monster trucks, and reason number one is monster truck shows make you feel patriotic as fuck because they are American as fuck. And like it's definitely got a little bit of a tongue in cheek of like, because it is, kind of thought of as like this super patriotic like American thing. And it is an American thing. I don't think you're going to go to Scotland and see one of these, or any other country where you're going to see a monster truck rally. um but also she's definitely saying it in a way where like, yeah, it's like silly patriotism, and sometimes it's fun to be patriotic, and it's definitely not like a MAGA Trumper, America's the best country in the world feeling, but
Yeah.
for one night only, dive into patriotism and freaking salute the flag and have fun at this like ridiculous event. You're here to have fun, just go have fun. So there's definitely like a background feeling of politics, but it also, the zine to me kind of felt like, yeah, put the politics aside. It's a giant truck that crushes cars. It's cool, man. Like, relax a little for one night. You know what I mean?
Or maybe it's
Yeah.
just the awareness of it that like brings that politics to me. And sorry, Kurt, I think I'm cutting you off.
Nope. I wasn't going to say anything. I was listening intently.
I always like stuff that's like women in what seems like a traditionally male space being like, this can just be for anyone. Like you don't have to be a certain way to like enjoy this. I think of Monster Truck, that seems like a boy thing, right? Like, and so having somebody who's more femme be like, this is really fucking cool, and it doesn't matter whatever else is going on. I think that's always going to appeal to me. She the author is like referencing a book that was written in like the 90s, right? But also like, hey, I asked my bonus dad and he said, yeah. Like,
Dude, I don't even know what bonus dad means, but yeah. She's like, Steve says, yeah, that's probably cool. And like, okay, we'll just get like
and that's I feel like that's the perfect like zine reference that you need. Like I
Mhm.
asked somebody who kind of knows things and they said that like, yeah, that's the case. And I'm like, awesome, I agree.
Right.
Yeah.
And Sharaya, I happen to know is a librarian, so like
Oh,
fact
perfect.
checking is important to her, but it's like so tongue in cheek because
Yeah.
the exact line was like, yeah, that sounds right. You know, like
Yeah.
it's definitely not authoritative.
I mean, for something like this, like, do you like how detailed do you really need to get, you know? So like that's enough fact checking.
One of the things that I really liked about it was it took me back to my childhood a lot. There's something very childlike in it. And I think the first thing that jumped out at me was when she was listing her personal favorite monster trucks, and the first one was a monster truck that doesn't even exist, which is Truckosaurus from The Simpsons. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh yeah, I remember that episode. Like, yeah, that was hilarious because it like breathed fire or something like that. Um, but yeah, it was like I love that. And then there was also I was thinking of I think in that same episode of Simpsons, but I also remember it as a kid, those advertisements on the radio or on TV for like monster truck rallies, and it'd be like Saturday, 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 like we'll sell you the seat, but you'll only need the edge. You
I
know,
remember
that
that.
kind of stuff. Like, I
Yeah.
appreciated that it's like, okay, she has a good sense of humor about this. I remember Bigfoot, I remember Gravedigger, like all of those monster trucks, like seeing commercials for them when they'd have some rally at some like local state fair or county fair or something. So it was like a lot of nice, fun memories of my childhood between The Simpsons and yeah, everything that was in here as far as the photos and the text and everything.
I got down a little rabbit hole of looking up other monster trucks, and there's one that's a plane, and there's one that's like a shark, and there's a unicorn, and there's a skateboard.
What?
What?
And I cannot recommend enough. Go look at these trucks.
Wow.
It's so fucking cool. It's so, why would you want a skateboard? How is that a monster truck?
Yeah.
It's great. It's absolutely fantastic.
I was just gonna say I liked somewhere in the zine they're like, what's your least favorite part of the monster truck rally? Oh, the part where they have like motorcycles jumping, like screw those dirt bikes, they're not even that big. Like I want a like because dirt bikes jumping is also really cool, I think. But he's like, no, that's not cool enough though. That's like halftime show. You go get a drink.
Well, one thing I was wondering, like a practical question. So she showed all the different moves that monster trucks can make, like they can hop this way or do this. But there was the one called a stoppie where like they go like face first into the ground and they stop vertical. And then I wondered like how does a truck get down from a stoppie? Like, how does that work? You're on a stoppie on the front, and then like, does somebody have to come like tip the truck over? Like, does anybody know? Like, that was a legit question I had as I was reading this. She didn't explain.
I love that this zine has caused you to ask that question.
Yes. How does a monster truck get down from a stoppie?
On the opposite page of the stoppie, she talks about big air, which, I relate to like snowboarding. And it's just such a funny comparison because like the snowboarders are so like little and light. But big air, I guess it's the same thing where they're like going high and getting caught, but
Yeah.
it's so different.
And it almost looks like some of these pictures in here are ones that she's taken too. It wasn't just things that she necessarily got from like online or some magazine from back in the 90s or something.
Yeah, there are not any photo credits, so I some of these are like look like they maybe came out of the book that she like read to do research. Some
Mhm.
of them look like they might have been like actual photos that she took. I have no idea. That's part of the mystery.
This is just like the research nerd in me, but I actually really wanted more on some of this stuff. Like, I wanted to know, like, okay, like the pictures, like the layout is great, but like, I just wanted to know more, you know? And so I think if there's a critique I had of it, it's that I'd love for it to be more in depth and like more details, more personal, like everything. I just wanted more. I wanted to be like a thicker, longer zine.
I think that's kind of why I wanted to review number two instead of number one, because number one was just a lot of like, it's super awesome. You should check it out. It's super awesome. And then number two, like what I did like that it had like a little bit of research. I did like
Mhm.
that it had like the terminology, and it really created the idea that there's this like subculture, and I love concepts of subculture.
Right.
But then she just casually mentions that like she and her wife went to a thing, which is like, a woman saying it just like very casual, like it's no big deal. Like, yeah, me and my wife go to monster truck rallies. So there is like a little bit of like, you know, activism edge to it. It almost feels like an activist like snuck into a monster truck rally. And if, we'll drink a bunch of beers and yell and no one will know our political beliefs as long as we yell at the monster trucks loud enough. Like that's what it kind of felt like. But yeah, definitely I also am ready for issue three.
Yeah, I'd love to know more about like what the vibes are and if they see the two of them together as a couple and are there people that look at them funny or no? Maybe not. Maybe everyone is just there to like watch the trucks smash into each other.
I want
Is
to
that
know
what they
how,
do? Do they smash into each other?
The trucks themselves don't smash into each other because the trucks themselves are super expensive, but they smash over other like junker cars. So they're jumping on top of other vehicles and smashing other vehicles, but they try not to run into each other. It's usually just one of them out there at a time, like doing tricks.
Got it.
You know, Jenna, going back to something you were kind of talking about a minute ago, and this is my bias because I like Perzines, but I would like to read like a Perzine meets, monster truck zine. Like that could be really interesting about like, yeah, the author here is telling us a lot about monster trucks, but what is their like more detailed, like intimate, thought out, like experiences and feelings, their childhood, what that was like, what it's like going with their wife to this event. Like, I think that could be really cool to rely more on the text and then also include some really badass photos, but like rely on the text quite a bit too to tell a story.
The thing that I always want, anyone that I meet, the thing I always want, I'm like, oh, like, what do you do for a living? You should write a zine about that. And
Mhm.
like, man, if one of these monster truck drivers wrote a zine, or even better, if one of like the crew people, like not a driver, but just someone that's like setting up the cars that are going to get smashed, like that gets to know the drivers and stuff, like I want to read a zine from them. I want Sharaya to go interview one of them. That's what I want.
Oh, that would be
Totally.
a great idea.
Mm.
And Billy, since you brought that up, like, and because you make a work zine also, I'm like maybe a tool of capitalism, but I'm so interested in work and what people do for work. So I just support that. I think it would be really cool to interview. And like you were saying, especially like someone who has like a corollary job, not the core job, but the peanut vendor or whoever, someone who's just around it.
I've never been driving down a highway or anything and seen like a transport of all of the monsters. Like, how do they get from place to place, right? Like,
That's a really good question too.
obviously it's not the monster truck driving on the road. It have to be like in a trailer.
Yeah.
We need
I
to send
want it to
Sharaya
drive
on
on the road.
tour.
Yeah.
I definitely see like jacked up like big trucks like just on the highways and stuff, but not like a monster truck
Yeah.
where the wheel itself is like 5 feet tall. Like I've never, and like I had a quick phone call with Sharaya like not too long ago, and we just briefly we were just talking about different things, and we briefly mentioned like how much pollution comes out of a monster truck rally. And like when I think about like how much gas would it take for one of those things to drive from like Albuquerque to Phoenix? Like so obviously those things aren't just driving down the highway. It's probably illegal to do that anyway, but also they probably get like 1 mile a gallon. So yeah, they're definitely being transported in something or on something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My guess is they probably take off the wheels and, you know,
Ah.
like have the wheels go separately or like in a semi or something and then take the body of the truck and put that in a separate semi, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I
Yeah, I
mean
don't think we want to think
everything.
about this too much.
Everything I just want to know more about. Like all these questions we're raising. I hope, Sharaya reads this or sees this and, is like getting fuel for her next issue.
It is. I think there needs to be a letter to the editor like section where we can like write in with our questions about
We can
monster.
write in with monster truck facts, and
Oh.
she'll trade zines with us if we do that. So
Ooh.
I was actually thinking about doing that because I'm fascinated by the shark as a truck because like
Mm.
it's shaped like a shark. Like
So after my phone call with Sharaya, I sent her a picture of the one monster truck rally that I've been to, and it was like a picture of me, like sort of like the photo of her in the back. I was making like the exact same face of where's the monster truck? And she immediately texted back like the name of the truck that was in the background, like, oh my God, is that the Dragonia or whatever? I'm like, I don't know. It's like, oh, that's so cool. You got to see that one. I've never seen that one or whatever. I'm like, whoa. Like it's not like a show. Like she freaking loves monster trucks.
Yeah.
I didn't know that I was interested in monster trucks until I read this, and I am now unusually interested in monster trucks.
All right, so it's decided we're all gonna meet up and go to a monster truck rally together. uh
Can I also draw attention to something that I really enjoyed about the zine, which is that it's there's no like white margin around it. So she went to the trouble of trimming them all, which, is if we all make zines, we all know that that's a pain in the ass, and it really makes this statement of care. But I think it also makes the trucks like seem all the bigger because they're bursting out. There's no frame around them. They're just like huge.
that's amazing that I grabbed the nearest zine that's like right next to me and like I'm like, oh, it is like just like a eighth of an inch difference all around the edge.
Hmm.
You're totally right. Wow. I didn't even realize it's like slightly smaller than half size. That's amazing that you noticed that. Yeah, good call.
Yeah, one of my coworkers is always really good about like trimming the library newsletter, and it's something that I've always been very touched by.
Yeah, that is an extra level of effort that I don't know that I've ever done. Cool. Any parting thoughts? Any final words about monster trucks?
It was very entertaining to read this, and I enjoyed it quite a bit, more than I thought I was going to.
Yeah. I think I am going to take her up on her offer to write her with some monster truck facts to try to trade some zines. I feel like that. Again, like Jenna was saying, I think that the joy of it is what is resonating with me so much, where it's just like, this is so simple and kind of silly, but also like, you can tell that this person genuinely cares about this thing. And we need more of that.
Well, that's it. Go get Monster Truck Maniac number 2.